Hey everybody, I wanted to show you how to do Apple Classroom if you haven't used that before, or even if it's just been a year since you used it, and kind of figure out how to add students. So this is just a quick how-to video of how you will create classes, how you'll get students added to it, and then kind of what's beneficial about using this app. Okay, so first of all, the app that I'm using is called Classroom. So we call it Apple Classroom, but the icon here is orange, and it's just called Classroom on the icon. Okay, so you need to download that app first. Okay, then I've already created my classes here. Okay, notice that I broke up my classes to A Day and B Day. I recommend doing that. It's just going to be nicer because you're never going to have both sets of kids at the same time. So you kind of want to have your classes just be who's in a room at one time. Okay. Also, I added my name. I first started just doing first hour A-Day, but then I realized as kids go to add my class, it's going to be important that my name is on there so that other teachers around that are also inviting students to their class, kids can know which first hour A-Day is the one they're looking for. So we don't all have it titled first hour A-Day. Okay, also the classes as you add them are going to go in order. So just to make nice lines, I added all my A-Day and then I added all my B-Day. But just kind of know however you want them to display here. It's not some apps, let you like press and hold and move things around. This doesn't. So this is going to kind of lock them in the order you create them. So make sure to create them in the order you want them to be displayed. Okay. So this is how, if you used it last year, you're going to already have your old classes and you want to delete those. How you're going to do that is hit this edit up here. Okay. And then you'll have the little X arrow. You can hit that. Or if you need to you change color or name or anything like that, like you mess up as you add one, you can edit with the 3 dots right there. Okay, then you just hit done and it goes back to normal. All right, so how you actually create a class is you'll just hit the plus sign here. Okay, and then you'll type the name. I've never really used description. I don't know how helpful that is, but you can decide. And then you can pick color and a little cute icon. Okay. So I've already added all my classes, so now let's look at how you would add a student to your class. So you're going to pick a class period, so my first hour A-Day, okay? Then I'm going to hit invite students. When I hit that, it just auto-generates a random 4-digit number here that the students are going to use to get into my classroom. That's going to change every single time, so don't publish that in Schoology for your class or something, because it's going to change every time you hit the invite, okay? Now, let me switch over to pretend like I'm a student, okay? And I have a second iPad here next to me that I'm going to add myself to another fake class, okay? So students, what they're going to do after you've hit that invite button, they're going to go into their settings, and they'll find Classroom right here, kind of towards the top, right below Bluetooth, okay? So they hit Classroom. Since I've hit invite on my other iPad here, they'll see something. They won't see anything show up here to add unless a class is actively inviting, kind of like when you pair a Bluetooth, okay? So I hit that. If I'm the student, I'd hit that. I've already got my name entered here, but if they haven't used this before, they'll have to type their name. It's important they do first and last in case you have ever a class period with 2 kids with the same first name. Then they're going to enter the number that's on your screen. So the number on my other screen here is 5460, okay? So then the student would hit add, okay? And it's going to process. Notice it says waiting for teacher, okay? So let me switch over back to pretending that I'm the teacher, and I'll show you what you're going to see. So as a teacher, like I said, you'd be in the invite screen, okay? That code's going to change every single time, okay? Let me pretend on my other iPad here that I'm a student adding myself. Okay, so I pretended to add myself, so here that pops up, okay? Once all students in the classroom with you at that moment are done adding and you've seen their little names pop up here, you can just close the screen by hitting add and they'll all show up here, okay? Give them a second and they should go online. If you have a kid that their iPad is on Wi-Fi, they're working, they're here next to you, but it's still showing offline after the initial setup, it might be a matter of that they're on airplane mode or their Bluetooth is turned off. So make sure that they do have Bluetooth on and that they don't have airplane mode on, because that's kind of one reason that it's going to have you not be able to see them. Okay, so now I've got a student added here. Okay, what you're going to be able to do with this then is really great. So I can tap on this student. If they're in the wrong app or they don't know what to do, I could myself open an app for them. Okay, if I hit that open, I can select most of the main apps. Okay, I also could choose to switch this little switch on here at the bottom so that they get locked into that app. If it's a student who easily gets distracted and struggles to stay where they're supposed to, you could just lock them into that app until they need a switch. Now, it will keep them locked in that until you unlock them. Okay, so make sure to unlock them before they move to their next class period. If they move far enough, like from my classroom, if they walk down to tech ed, they're going to just go out of my range of being able to control their iPad, or when they go home, they're out of my range, so it will naturally unlock them. However, most likely they're probably walking to a close by classroom like Miss McCready or Miss Markov, and they're still in my radius and they're still locked and they can't do their, English or math work. So do make sure to unlock them if you do lock them. All right, and your unlock would be right here. Right now they're not locked, so it says lock, but if I have locked them, it'll unlock them right there. Okay, the most important thing you're going to probably want to do is view screen. Okay, so when I hit view screen, I can see what the student's doing. So if they have Schoology open, I can see what they're doing, and I can help them out by letting them kind of being able to see what they see. So I think this is what we're going to want most this year. So in order to keep our 6-foot distance and be able to see what the students are doing on their iPad screen in order to help them fix a little glitch or problem, this is going to be really helpful. Okay, so when I'm done with that, I close that. Also really helpful at the end of the class period, up here in the corner, I'm going to hit end class and I get some great analytics. Okay, so here I can see what apps were used during the class period. If I click on it, I only have one student right now, but I'd see all my students that had used that app and for how much time they'd used that app. Okay, and I can kind of see a bar graph for each of those. Or I can choose to look at one student and see the percentage of time that they have spent on different apps. So like if I hit end class and I notice like checkers is on the list, I could just tap on checkers and figure out who my game players were. Okay. Most importantly, I think this year this app's going to be really great just to help us keep our 6-foot distance from our students, as well as be able to see their screens, see that they're engaged in what they're supposed to be in, and be able to help problem solve from afar. So hope that this helps, and if you have any questions, just email me and I'm glad to help.